What was that experience that felt like it just couldn't get any worse, but somehow did? My vasectomy. It was only 2 hours before it all went wrong, but I was following all the post-procedure stuff, wear a jockstrap, gentle icing, no lifting, no exercise, plenty of rest, etc. I was actually quite excited to sit in bed for a few days and find a show to binge when stuff started going south. Was laying in bed and had been feeling a weird twinge/pulling sensation for a bit, and finally put the tablet down to get a look down my shorts. The doctor said there might be swelling, but I wasn't quite prepared for what I saw. My ballsack had increased in size to about an orange and my lower abdomen was swelling as well. There was a black and blue bruise that was spreading down my leg and up into the abdomen. Started to Google stuff and had my wife call the doctor. She finally got a hold of the night attendant, and he told her it was normal. I tried to relax and get my mind off of things, but I was a bit anxious, to say the least. I checked again about an hour later, and my balls had grown to the size of a small cantaloupe. They had swelled up so big that my schlong had been entirely engulfed, except for the foreskin, by the massive sack around it. My junk now looked like a furry, zombified Q-bird. I had never had a panic attack before, but my brain decided that now would be a good time to introduce that to my repertoire. My arm went numb, the world was spinning, I was struck by an impending sense of doom, and my heart felt like it was going to beat through my chest. Thinking I was currently well along in the process of dying, I had my wife call 911. By the time EMS got there, I felt much better due to medication, and I'm not Bill Gates, so I told them my wife would take me to the hospital. By this time I had to pee, and all I can say about that is it's quite an experience to have to fish your penis shaft out of your painful, grossly swollen ballsack and just barely get enough of the tip out to spray urine everywhere like an epileptic with a super soaker. Arrived at the ER and they confirmed that yes, my junk was screwed up. Out of a bit of horror and pity, they gave me some morphine in my fore right after the sonogram. In the chaos, however, I neglected to inform them I had just taken some pain meds. Not to mention I had doubled the dose considering my condition. I didn't OD or anything, but there was lots of puking and feeling like I was falling into myself and other fun stuff I'd rather not endure again. Had to wait a bit for surgery, so they gave me some antibiotics beforehand to get that round of meds started. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I was allergic to sulfa antibiotics. Nothing happened that night, but for whatever reason sulfus gave me a male yeast infection. So, I got to convalesce with a tube still draining blood and fluid out of my left nut, all the while my junk was covered in slime and sores. The doctor said that the possibility of the initial complications alone was somewhere in the range of 0.001%, let alone the rest of that nightmare. Still, at least it supplanted live moth in my ear canal as the #1 worst physical experience I've had to endure thus far in life.